Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Parenthoot Spotlight. I'm your host Neha Garg, and I'm so glad you're here with us today. One of the most rewarding aspects of this journey has been meeting incredible people who redefine parenting in their own unique ways. And today's guest is someone whose lifestyle and parenting philosophy have left me inspired and curious in equal measure. Let me introduce you to Sonika Bhasin, a sustainable lifestyle practitioner, a devoted mom to her little boy Abir, and someone who has managed to weave ecological mindfulness into the fabric of her family's life. From composting to hosting zero waste birthday parties, from nature walks to beach explorations, Sonika has found a way to make her ecosystem work for her, all while nurturing her little one in a slow living world. She's a true testament to the idea that sustainability isn't just a choice, it's a way of life. So, without further ado, let's dive into this enriching conversation. Sonika, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Neha. That was so sweet. And I am a little overwhelmed by everything that you said, but thanks a lot for having me. And I'm really looking forward to this conversation.
Sonika, your approach to parenting and sustainability is just so refreshing and inspiring. Let's start with your journey. What first drew to the idea of sustainable living? Was it something you grew up with, or was there a turning point in your life that made you embrace it?
No, it was not something I grew up with. I mean, I think that when we were younger, life was anyway more sustainable than it is now. But I think along the way, you get used to stuff that's happening around you and, so-called conveniences. And
Yeah.
then you just keep doing what everyone around you is doing. And that is that's your normal way of living. And I think my journey just started after Abir was born. Abir is my son. He just turned 6. And so after he was born, I actually accidentally bought a cloth diaper only
Yeah.
because it looked cute. And I want to show you what a cloth diaper looks like. So I
Is it
bought
a
this. It's not
super
this one,
bottoms?
but I bought one of these. And then I was like, how do I use this? So I just started doing some research. And what I realized was that disposable diapers are very bad for the environment. And then I learned that disposable products are very bad for the environment. And then, I was on maternity leave. I had a lot of time. So I just started reading up a lot about what is happening, about the environment, and about, the waste crisis, about climate change, because these are things that I think we hear about, but we
Yeah.
don't really pay much attention to. Of course, I knew climate change, but I had never really thought much about it.
Yeah.
And then I realized that we are currently living through the biggest garbage crisis in history. And it is a huge, huge issue. And then I was like, my God, I have brought a new life into this world.
Yeah.
And so I think my approach was, why don't I figure out what can I do as an individual? What can we do as a family to not contribute to this problem, but just make better choices and just see how we can be more, how we can contribute more towards the solution, I would say, and not contribute to this big issue. So I just started doing a lot of research on that, and I realized that it was actually very simple. These
Mm-hmm.
are very simple things that we can do in our day-to-day lives that can have such a big impact. And I also realized that our own lifestyle was so wasteful for no reason. And there was very easy alternatives available. And then once you find them, you're like, why was I not doing this all this while? Because I was not aware,
Yeah.
right? And I think it's just more about awareness. I think most people are not aware. And I often ask everyone, and this is the question that I did not have an answer to either, was, do you know what happens to your garbage bag once you leave it outside your door? And
Right.
most people don't know about it. Neither did I even think about it. It was something that kuch hota hoga, koi leke jata hoga, like, why do I have to care about it, right?
Right.
So I think all of that kind of made me go towards this. And I was like, let's start doing whatever we can do. And it's not like overnight we made a ton of changes. We did not do that. We just slowly and gradually we said, okay, let's just, exclusively cloth diaper. We will not use any disposable diapers. And we didn't. And
Mhm.
we traveled and we have done an international trip and we did a lot of domestic trips. We did road trips. without using a single disposable diaper. So I was like, this is so easy and so doable. Why doesn't everybody do it? You know?
Yeah.
So I think it was just finding a lot of these alternatives and started using them. And that's how this whole uh, journey started.
And I really have to ask you, you have such a demanding professional career, and you seem to be doing so much of advocacy, especially on your Instagram channel. How do you find time to do everything? And in the midst of doing the most incredible and busy job of it all, raising a beer.
Uh, I don't think, see, it doesn't take that much time. And I think if you
Yeah.
love doing what you do, you will find the time.
Yeah.
So, where Instagram is concerned, I just get such amazing response, when
Yeah.
I post stuff. And I wake up with messages which say, I did this because of you. I did this because of your son. I started composting because of Abir. Look at my bioenzyme. This is because of you. And and then there are messages like people will say, and a lot of people have said this to me, thank you for existing. You
Oh.
know, so you get a message like that, and you're like, okay, I need to do more of this,
Yeah.
right? Or there are people who will say, you have completely changed my lifestyle, and
Yeah.
it's all thanks to you. So I think if I can change even a few people's mindset, because I think it's only about that. It is
Yeah.
just about changing your mindset. That's it. You become more aware, you become more conscious, and you just think of things differently. You become a little more mindful. That's all there is. So I think all of this keeps me going. So usually what I do is on weekends when I have time, I will sit and just make a lot of reels, and then I post them through the week. But I also don't put too much pressure on myself. If I can't post, I can't post. It's
Yeah.
okay, because I'm not doing this as a profession, or I don't have to stick to a schedule, and I'm not like an influencer who's only depending on this. So
Yeah.
I do it as per my convenience, and I really enjoy doing it. So I just find the time to do it.
Great. And in this journey, you said, people have said wonderful things to you. So, like that, have there been other milestones that have validated your efforts and you said, yeah, this is what I need to do more of?
In terms of advocacy, yes, whenever I have done, the first time somebody told me on Instagram, can you do an Insta live? And I was like, why does anybody want to listen to what I have to say? And they were like, no, no, just do it. And we got, I think that was about 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
And it was also during COVID. It was lockdown. A lot of people would come, and just the comments and people saying, "Oh my God, I didn't know about this," and I'm going to start doing this now. And I think from there it just took off. Like a lot of people would say, "Come and do an Insta live for us," and I would do it. Then somebody told me, "Can you do an Insta takeover?" That used to be a thing those
Yeah.
days, where you take over somebody's account and you post stories. And I did a lot of those. And the first time I did that, the brand I did it for, it's a friend's brand called Love the World Today. It's a sustainable clothing brand. And we were supposed to do it on, I think, 15th August or 26th Jan. It was a holiday. And they were like, listen, the questions are just pouring in. Can you do it the next day as well? Like, can you do it tomorrow as well? Because, there's just so much response. And I didn't even have too many followers. But I think it's just that people were getting so much information, and they were just like, wow, this is so easy. And okay, this is the alternative. So I did it the next day. And so I think a lot of these things were like, if I can just share this information,
Yeah.
as I'm finding it, as I'm discovering something, why not just share it with people,
Yeah.
and get them to do it? Because like I said, it's all very simple stuff.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of that happened on social media. Then my company is very encouraging of it, and I've been doing a lot of internal workshops. So
Yeah.
every year on either Environment Day or Earth Day or something, I will do an internal workshop. First time I did, we had a certain number of people. The second time I did, it was double the number of people. The third time I did, it was even more people. So then you obviously you feel like, okay, there are people who are interested. People actually, I think inherently everybody wants to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And if you can just tell them how to do it in a very simple manner, they will do it.
Yeah.
It's like I tell people, it's like not like people are waking up every morning saying, today I will destroy the environment. It's not like It's
Yeah,
not like that. So I think all of these have kind of been small milestones, and
yeah, yeah.
it's very encouraging. So I love doing it.
And you talk about simple things, Sonika. So if we were to talk about a few simple, actionable habits that families can adopt to make their homes more eco-friendly, what would you say they would be? Just to start with.
See, I'll tell you first, I don't think there is a step by step. Like there is no step one, step two, step three. It is what works for you,
Right,
what is more convenient for you. So I would say always pick up something which is the most convenient thing for you, which will not disrupt your lifestyle at all.
right.
And a very easy way to do that for families, I think, is just to replace your products.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of using a regular detergent, you buy a biodegradable detergent, doesn't change anything in your lifestyle,
Right.
right? So that is one thing that can be easily done. And all these amazing products are available. Like, for example, we use this detergent and it comes in
Coco
a tin.
Gusto.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
I
It's
love
been
it too.
5, 6 years since we've been using it. And see, the first time you buy it, it comes in a tin. It's a steel tin. And then after that, the refills come in a paper bag. So all
Yeah.
of that is easily recyclable. So these are things like, for example, we use, oh, sorry, what did I do?
Nothing.
So for example, I switched to using, this is a shampoo bar, this is a conditioner bar, this is a soap bar. These are all sustainable brands. You change this, nothing is changing in your lifestyle. You're not spending any extra time in doing any of this. So I think this is something which is very easy. You can change your kitchen products, your dishwash, your hand wash, your all of these kind of things can be just switch them out as they get over. Instead of buying your regular thing, just buy one of these. That's a very easy thing to do. Another very easy thing to do is when you all step out, just carry a bottle of water with you. It's like the easiest, simplest thing, but it does take a little bit of time to, for it to become a habit. And so, when we leave the house, like Abir has never left the house without a bottle, a napkin, and his cutlery kit.
Wow.
It's always in his bag. So I think he doesn't know any other way, right? Because that's
Yeah.
just how he leaves the house.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
for me it was, I had to make it a habit. I would think about it. Oh, I'm leaving, I need to take these things with me. But now it's become, now it's
Second
just
nature.
second nature. it's
Yeah.
it's like that. So I think that is something that one can very easily do. And a very important thing is obviously segregating your waste, which is way easier than people think it is. And even for us, we just put a system in place. And I've realized that once you have a system in place in
Yeah.
your house, then everybody just follows that system. It is no extra effort at all.
Yeah.
So we just kept 2 large bags in our kitchen, and we were like, all dry waste agar usme khana hai, it will go into the where the utensils are. And when our help is washing the utensils, she's going to wash it, it's going to get dried, it's going to go in these bags. Simple, no extra effort. And of course, we had already started composting when we started doing all of this. So our kitchen waste would just go into the composter every evening. So it's just become a system. And waste segregation is extremely important. So I think that is something that we all should at least think about and start doing it, because it's not difficult to do, and it's very crucial to everything that's happening around us.
Thanks for sharing that, Sonika. Now you're talking about practices. If we could also hear about what are your go-to sustainable products or brands that people can explore for kids or home needs, what would you suggest?
There are a lot.
Yeah.
So for kids, there is a brand called Kamarkattu. We use there for a biru. We use their shampoo bars, soap bars, and a lot of other things. There is another brand called Sukham Handmade, which is very good for kids products. And both these brands, of course, have other products for home care, personal care for adults as well. Um, I already showed you my detergent is from Coco Custo. Then there is a brand called Arnico. They have a lot of home care products, so I use a lot of their products. Who else? My God, I'm feeling bad now, not remembering the names of products. But anyway, the thing is that I have a highlight on my Instagram page,
Yeah.
which is called I Use. And these are whatever I use, I just share it over there so that it's easy for people to find these brands. So please do look at that. And but there are a lot of lovely brands. So there are a lot of also brands that make upcycled products, for example.
Yeah.
So we use now what has started happening is if I need something, like for example, I needed a suitcase cover.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was like, why should I buy this? I will just ask one of my upcycler friends, and now everybody is my friend. So I just sent her a picture saying, can you make this? She said, yeah, I'll make it. And I sent her the dimensions of my suitcase, and she made me a suitcase cover out of waste fabric. Okay.
Wow.
So I needed a shoe caddy, you hang
Yeah.
it behind the door and put shoes in it. Again, I asked another upcycler friend. I was like, "Can you make this?" She was like, "Yeah," and she made it. So, we are what we do is I use a lot of these upcycling brands. So there is a brand called the Abhinaya store. She's based in Bombay. So she makes a lot of the stuff for Abir's birthday return gifts. She just recently made bags out of my old dupatta. I just sent it to her and she made these gift bags. Then there's a brand called Gift Green. Gift Green also has, I use their tooth powder, which I absolutely love. And they also upcycle. So there are a lot of brands that are doing a lot of amazing work. And like I always say, there is a sustainable product available in every product category.
So, on that note, Sonika, have you ever faced situations where sustainable living conflicted with your system of convenience? And was like, how do you make decisions in such moments when sometimes has it happened to you where no, you make it sound so simple?
I think it's why am I doing it? My
Yeah,
why is very strong.
yeah,
I'm doing it for my son. I'm like, I'm the most selfish person. I don't care about anything else. I am only doing it for my child.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So there is nothing inconvenient about doing something for your child.
yeah,
And
yeah,
honestly, it is not inconvenient. Okay. For
right,
example, when we started cloth diapering, I thought, and that time there was not so much information available. Like there weren't like these sustainability influencers on Instagram. And now there's a lot more. At
yeah,
that time, we had to search a bit. So I thought, okay, if this exists, if a cloth diaper exists, I'm sure cloth pads must also exist.
yeah,
I didn't know. So I just went and searched online and I was like, yeah, they are there. Why
yeah,
didn't I know about this? So I bought that and I started using that. Then
right.
I got a menstrual cup. And ever since I started using a menstrual cup, I was like, this is the most convenient thing that exists.
Yeah,
Why do we not know much about it? Right?
right.
A lot of these things are actually more convenient. And also, I mean, everything that you use, you consume on your body, or you're putting inside your body, or you're using in your house, everything that is sustainable is also good for you because it does not contain any harmful chemicals.
Right.
Whereas most of your commercial products do.
Yeah.
So that's not convenience, right?
Right.
It's I'll never touch a Harpic now because I know what goes into it, right? I will just make bioenzyme at home and use that.
Right.
So I think once you realize how bad these things are, and
Right.
once you do a little bit of research into the products that you use, even your detergents, and they're full of really toxic stuff, and you forget the environment. I mean, you're consuming all of this yourself. Your child is consuming it. Everybody is consuming it. So once you realize that, okay, this is what is happening, I'm not going to use these things. You don't really think that much about convenience.
Yeah.
And again, honestly, there's nothing inconvenient. You just have to figure out how to do something. And once you do it, it's normal. There's no big deal.
Yeah, and I'm especially curious about those beautiful zero waste parties you host. Tell us about tell us about those. Can you tell us about the planning process because it all looks so beautiful and it comes together so beautiful. And I think you said it right. We are just so used to the inconvenient way being the only way that we forget that there exists another way. And which
Yeah.
is probably much more simpler and more sustainable, of course, more convenient when you
More
start doing
convenient and also, let me tell you, cheaper.
cheaper. Yes,
Course it
yes,
is cheaper. So, like for example, for Abhi's first birthday, I was like, we have to have a zero waste theme and all of this. So I didn't know much at that time. And he was just, he was turning 1. So I started asking, and then I found this upcycler called Use Me Works. She has beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I just ordered.
Yeah.
Again, I just ordered a bunch of cloth buntings from her and some other stuff. And that's what we used. So we were like, no balloons, we are just going to use these. And we have been using it ever since. Everything that I got from her on his first birthday has been used for every single birthday of his. Then there's this clothing brand called Forest Child, and we have a lot of clothes from them. And they had these cloth buntings that were made out of their fabric waste, which were beautiful. So I got a set of those.
Right.
And then on one of his birthdays, I again from Abhinaya, I got a cloth bunting which said "Happy Birthday," which is made
Yeah.
from my mom's old sari.
Wow.
It was a beautiful organza sari, and it was coming apart, and I thought it would make for a good bunting. So now I have a set of those,
Yeah.
and we just use that every year. I don't think anyone cares.
Right.
I don't care. We don't care. So if
Right.
anybody cares, I don't think so. But they are all in a box. And that box of buntings has gone to so many people, I cannot tell you. So my
Wow.
friends will call and say, can you send us your buntings? So now they are not just being reused in our house on every birthday, but my friends are using the same every year in their house for their kids' birthdays.
Wow.
You know, and
What
they look
better use? Yeah, they look beautiful. They look beautiful.
beautiful because balloons at the end of the day, balloons look the same.
Yeah.
you know so these are different, they look beautiful. So that is one. We just use cloth buntings and cloth decor every year, the same thing. So it's not, I'm not, then there's no effort every year because I already have it, and all we have to do is put it up. I think the second thing is that we don't use anything disposable, which we don't do for any kind of party. So on his first birthday, we actually bought a set of steel plates, like big plates, small plates, and a set of steel glasses, because we were like, if we're going to do this every year and steel lasts forever,
Yeah.
so we will do that. But obviously, you don't have enough, so I'll get it from my mom, I'll get it from another friend, and now all my friends have started doing the same thing. They'll just call and say, send your plates and glasses.
Yeah.
It's my child's birthday, and we have just started doing that between friends.
Yeah.
And yes, they all don't look the same, which is again, in a birthday party, nobody cares
And
about
I think
anything.
that adds to the fun of it also.
Yeah. How does it matter? So we do that. So we'll have regular plates, glasses, spoons, forks. And I've started just keeping a big basket full of cloth napkins. And by the way, these cloth napkins are my mom's, which she must have had for 5 decades, I think. And my parents were in the army, so they used to post a lot. And so, they will have hand embroidered napkins from
Yeah.
some place. And yeah, like very beautiful napkins. And they have just been lying in her loft. And I was like, just give me all your napkins. I'm going to start using them. So I just put them in a basket. And I realized most people don't even pick up a napkin.
Yeah.
But if you have a lot of paper tissues, everybody is going to
True.
pick,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
So true.
So we just do that. I think that is one thing. No disposable crockery, cutlery, napkins, no balloons. We have other kind of decor. The third thing that we do every birthday is say no gifts,
Yeah.
no new gifts. So for his first birthday, I actually told people, because he's one, he doesn't know anything. So I just said, just don't get any gifts, and donate to a charity of you know we'll tell you a few charities, just donate to them instead of giving him a gift. But then as he grew up, obviously he wants something on his birthday. So I came up on this idea of doing a pre-loved gift swap,
Yeah.
which was, what we do is we tell every kid, you get two of your old books, toys, puzzle, whatever, anything that you want to pass on, and you wrap each in a gift, in a newspaper, and then we put everything in a big basket. And at the end of the party, every kid picks up one thing for themselves, and whatever is left goes to my son.
Oh.
So he gets gifts,
Yeah.
right? But also every kid gets a pre-loved gift.
Yeah.
And what I have observed is they are so excited. It's more exciting than a return gift for them. I also give return gifts, but they will start opening it up there and there.
Yeah.
And it's because they are all different, and like, I want the big one, or I want this one. This one looks attractive, or whatever. And I think it's a very nice way of getting parents, because now see, the parents know it is a pre-loved thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of parents are not okay with pre-loved things. But when they see their child being so excited about a pre-loved book or a toy, maybe it gets them thinking that this is fine.
Yeah.
So that's my other
Yeah.
secret objective.
Very slyly,
I'm
putting.
introducing something in his, in his friends, parents' minds. And yeah, and we also try to make most of the food at home, which
Yeah.
I have zero contribution in, but I don't do it. So my husband, my mother-in-law, my mother, and everybody, they love doing all of this. So they will do all the food.
Right.
And my mom has all our lives made cakes for us and made
Yeah.
cakes for every kid.
Yeah.
So she's amazing at that. So she will make the cake.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I think just, you do all of these things and there's actually not much waste. And it's a regular birthday party. There's nothing different in our birthday parties as compared to any other parties.
Right.
And I have to tell you, a lot of my friends have started doing the same.
Wow. That's, see,
In fact,
I think,
most of our Beers friends, they've all started doing it.
wow, that's real influence, no? You say you are not an influence. You are an influencer on Instagram and off it.
Thank you. Thank you. And one more thing I also do is for return gifts. I'm like, okay, let's introduce people to sustainable products. So, for example, I gave this. Okay, this is an upcycled
Bottle
bottle
holder.
holder,
Yeah.
right? So you just put your bottle in it, and
Yeah.
this is all made from waste fabric. And
Wow.
everyone I know is using this. The parents are using it, the kids are using it. People have taken it from their kids and saying, I will use it, instead. So, and I will write a nice note with it to say what it is made of, and things like that. Then on one birthday, we gave a cutlery kit as a
Uh-huh.
return gift.
Yeah.
Again, this is very useful. You just carry it with you wherever you go to avoid disposable cutlery. So I think what I try to do is for his birthday, I just try to introduce like some sustainable brands. This time we did soaps from Kamarkattu and a vapor and a mosquito repellent, again, all sustainable, gave those away. So just trying to introduce some sustainable brands again to parents.
Yeah.
That's
Again,
another thing that
very
I have.
sly. But very smart. And now tell us about nature walks and the beach explorations you do with Abir, Sonika. I find them just so fascinating. Instead of taking a child to a I don't know, play area or those flashy places, malls. I always see you taking Abir to nature walks or some kind of those things. So how did you think about that, and how did you come up with this idea? Was it
I
intentional?
think Yeah, I think from the beginning, our thing has just been that, let him spend as much time outside as possible. And before he started going to school, he would spend 3-4 hours every day with our building gardeners downstairs.
Wow.
And it taught him so much about just plants. And, he would come back with the plant and say, see, and he calls them green uncles, our building
Uh-huh.
gardeners. And he was like, Green uncle gave me this plant, and today I did this, and I told them, do everything with him. So he has cut grass with them. He has picked up worms and earthworms and insects and all of that. And I feel the more the child is in touch with nature, like you are interacting with it, you're putting your hands in the soil, you know how to plant, you know that I planted something and now something is coming out of it. The more you are in touch with it, the more you will nurture it, right? Because it's not something away. You realize it's a part of your life. This is all in your own surrounding.
Right.
So that used to happen. And by the way, green uncles loved him because he was the only kid who was coming every day
Yeah.
and just doing stuff with them. So they really encouraged him. And I am so grateful to them because they never rushed him. They
Hmm.
never said, nahi, nahi, ye tumhara nahi hai, tum mat karo. They just took him in and they did so much with him, which was beautiful.
Right.
So that happened, and I was like, this is what we should be doing more of. And nanny, oh my God, she realized that these people like this. Then she was like, I will do everything with him. So they are climbing trees and they are, all sorts of outdoors she would do with him. And so after COVID, because of course a lot of this period was during the lockdown, and then
Yeah.
got extended. So after that, our group of friends. So Abir goes to a Waldorf school. It's a
Yeah.
it's an alternative method of education, and I think everybody is very like-minded. So it was not so much us as the others, and they would be like, let's do a trail in BNHS. I didn't know what is BNHS, and we all went for a trail. So we do a lot of, and we try to do everything. Every weekend, we try to just either do a walk or just get out or just go to the beach or sometimes just go out of town. But even when we go out of town, there's a lot of emphasis on just being outdoors and not just, sitting inside and watching something. Anyway, these kids don't watch anything. So that's great. But that has just been the whole, sorry, that is what has been the whole emphasis of just being as much outdoors as possible. And they pick up a lot. They just learn a lot. You don't have to teach
Yeah.
them anything. So we did a beach cleanup when he was three and a half. And, he can see all these things. He knows that this is going to go into the water and, fish are going to eat this. I
Yeah.
don't have to teach him not to throw stuff on the beach, teach him to not throw stuff anywhere on the road or on whatever, because he knows it.
Yeah.
So once what happened was there was a big birthday party in our society, and the next day I was walking, and the place has been cleaned, but there are still like tiny pieces of balloons all over, which is it's impossible to clean them, right?
Right.
So I called him down and I was like, come, we'll pick it up. And so we made a game of it. Okay, we'll keep the purple ones here, we'll keep the pink ones here, and we'll keep, so we kind of made a game out of it, and we were picking up stuff. And he sees a piece of plastic.
Right.
Okay. And he's telling me, पता है मम्मा इसीलिए ना प्लास्टिक बॉटल नहीं यूज करना चाहिए.
Oh.
करना चाहिए ये देखो.
Mm.
So I was like, तो फिर क्या करना चाहिए? अपना बॉटल लेके जाना चाहिए. क्यों ना लेके जाते हैं? So this is his
Yeah.
own realization. I
Yeah.
have not told him, right? So his first Holi, we went down, and his first Holi was, I think he was again 2.5, 3, because again after lockdown, and kids were throwing water balloons at each other, right? And so obviously there were these pieces of water balloons, and I was like, "Chalo, we'll pick them up." And I got a packet, and I was like, "Hum isme dalenge sare water balloons." And then he said, Q, why are we doing this? I said, birds will eat, animals will eat, they'll think it's food, and then they'll fall sick, unke पेट खराब हो जाएगा, or whatever I made up something. So I don't have to tell him that we should not use balloons on his birthday,
Right.
right? He
Yeah.
knows it now. This is going to make something sick.
Yeah.
That's why we don't use them. So I think my thing has just been make it fun, involve him, take him out, let him see what is happening around. And one more incident I have to tell you, which blew
Please.
my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has been composting since he was 2.
Yeah.
First, it was just him being like, I would say, Abiru, you want to help me? And, they love helping at that age.
Yeah.
So he would just come and sit with me, and soon he was very curious and he wanted to do it himself. And by 3, he was composting himself. He doesn't even need any help anymore. So that's something he does every day. It's just a part of his regular routine. And he also knows what is recyclable, right? Because he will come and ask. So he used to ask, is this recyclable? Is this recyclable? And once we had this whole game where he found a recycling sign on one thing, then he went all over the house and he was like, okay, this paper has a recycling sign, this glass has a recycling sign, so it was a game. And in this game, now he has realized what all is recyclable. Right? And also when the people come to take our dry waste, he's the one to give it. So he's taking out each thing. So again, he knows what is recyclable and what is not recyclable. So one day we are in the car and we are going, and I just said, look at this kachra on the road. Why do people throw kachra on the road? That's all I said. And he turns to me and he says, it's because they don't know how to compost and recycle.
Oh, wow.
He has, at 3.5 or whatever he was, he has made the connection that because they are not taking care of their waste, it is now coming on the road.
Right.
उनको पता ही नहीं है composting, recycling के बारे में. So I was like, आप सबको बता दो. मैं सबको बता दूँ. So it's just been like so amazing to see how he has just picked it all up because that's what he's seeing around him, you know.
That's
And I
right.
always tell people you don't have to teach your kids anything. They
Anything.
will just pick up from what you do, what is happening around them. They will just pick up from there. And
You
that is
know
the
what?
best way for them to learn.
Yeah, you know what fascinates me, Sonika? It's not just Abir that you are teaching by doing. I keep seeing the videos where he's bringing his friends in and they're having play dates and they are, picking up those earthworms and they are separating the compost and, chanoing it and putting it there.
Yes.
It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful how,
And they love it. They love it. There is this friend of his, he's 3. And his mom is telling me he only wants to come to our house because he wants to compost. So I
how,
said, you should start composting now.
yeah.
But whenever they come and I'm at home, I'll be like, chalo, composting karenge. And they are all like running. And then the whole game is to pick out grubs
Yeah,
from the compost. And, then they'll count, tumko kitne mile, mujhe itne mile. It's a game for them. But I really think composting is the most beautiful thing that you can do with your kid because it's like a miracle in your house
yeah,
every day. You are witnessing a miracle.
that's
And it's been 5 years. And it I cannot tell you, every time I harvest it, I am like, how is this happening on its own without any intervention? We have put all sorts of things inside it. And in the end, it all looks the same every single time.
right.
You know,
Yeah,
we have done nothing. This is nature. This is how things happen in nature on their own effortlessly. There is no effort in nature.
right.
And for a child to see that,
Yeah,
to witness that, yesterday I put banana peels and after a few days, it's
it'll
all
turn.
gone,
Yeah,
and I didn't do anything. It just happened on its own.
yeah,
I really wish everybody composted at home. It's like the most beautiful thing, most satisfying thing, most fun thing you can do. And it takes 1 minute a day.
yeah.
That is
Maybe less
that's
than that. Yeah, yeah.
so
Tell
we
us
love
about,
doing.
yeah, we also love watching it. We love doing it. We love watching it. And I just wish more people did it around. And I'm sure that, whoever is listening will at least get curious about doing it and about starting out with that journey if they are not on it already. But tell us about your favorite memory with a beat that involves nature, Sonika.
Oh, I think all of these, I think I mentioned quite a few. Um, what else? I think we do a lot of these when we just go out. We do. In fact, today we are going for a marine walk. We did a very interesting marine walk in Juhu Beach, and we found like the naturalist was so good, and
Yeah.
she showed us so many things which we would have never even realized. Like we would have just seen it, but not really focused or not paid any attention on it, and we saw a lot of crabs, a lot of worms, we saw barnacles. By the way,
Yeah.
I did not know anything about barnacles, and this whole jetty kind of thing is full of barnacles. And she told us, put your ear next to it and you can hear them breathe.
Yeah.
And all the kids and all of us, oh my God, it was mind blowing. That,
And we
it's,
we witnessed it through your stories and through your posts, and I was like, how beautiful it must have been to witness it firsthand. Like if
yeah,
if the stories and videos have that much of impact and that thing, it was like second hand living of that moment, but it was so beautiful, and I'm just so glad that you are getting to do all of this with him. How do you find these groups and people? Are they through the school, or do you
no,
have?
I have to give full credit to our group of other parents because somebody else found this and said, let's do this. And we all just went and did it. So I think it's sometimes on Instagram, like people will send me, and I think I have the sweetest, nicest followers. They will keep sending things to me and say, you might be interested in this. Maybe you want to do this. So it's through that, or it's some other parent will say, let's do. So this marine walk was another friend of ours. She said, I found out about this. Let's do it. It's right next to our house. And we
Right.
went and did it. And oh my God, I think my Instagram exploded that day because I was posting stories and people were like, you need to save these stories. So I
Yeah.
made a highlight saying Marine Walk and I was like, please go and see it over there. Because it was very fascinating, right? Because
Yeah.
it's right next to you. And a lot of people who live in Bombay have never have been to the beach but have not noticed all of these things. So
Right.
we are going for again, we are going for one today, and I think it's the same naturalist. So I'm very excited about that. But I think that's a great thing. You should just find out in your cities any of these walks that, and I think a lot of them do happen.
Yeah.
Whether it's a forest walk or whether it's any kind of walk. There's also another very interesting one in Bombay called Maharashtra Nature Park,
Oh.
and this is actually it used to be a landfill that
Oh,
has been converted into a forest.
wow. Wow.
So it's, I mean, I think it's amazing that they managed to convert the whole thing, and it has a huge butterfly garden.
Wow.
And it has a lot of variety of trees and native plants. So we went there, and it was very interesting. So I think there are a lot of these things that exist around us, and we should just keep finding out what's happening in the city and take our kids out. I mean, don't sit at home and don't take them for so many movies. Just sometimes just take them out, and if there's nothing, take them to a park or just take them to the beach, or whatever you can do to get out of the house.
Right.
uh, I think that's what we try to do.
And has it ever happened, Sonika, that Abir asks for toys or activities that do not align with your values? Because, of course, he's only a
No,
kid.
no, he's a kid. Obviously, he wants Lego and he wants all of that. And if I start saying, no, this is, we can't do that.
Yeah.
He has everything. It's just that he knows he cannot just keep asking for things. So
Yeah.
we made it kind of a rule that, okay, you can get something on your birthday, on Diwali, and on Christmas. These are the three occasions on which you can get something. So whatever you want, you just think about it, and we will get it for you
Yeah.
then. So it's not like throughout the year we are getting him stuff. I mean, once in a while, if he really wants something, honestly, he doesn't ask for things. He just does not ask for things. Some maybe they are lucky. I don't know how. But
Because you're showing him every day, no? That's what we discussed right now. He's learning from you by watching, and that is how you're bringing him up. You're just not lucky.
yeah,
You
so
are
it's just
building.
thankfully, yeah, he doesn't ask for things. And the other thing is most of his stuff is secondhand. So,
Right.
like for example, he needed a cycle.
Yeah.
And so Sahil, my husband, who
Yeah.
Sahil will be like, Ari, find out on your groups. Need a cycle. So I said, fine. And we have this WhatsApp group called Mumbai Thrifters, and somebody put up a cycle, and we got that cycle. Now that cycle is in perfect condition,
Yeah.
and it's a second-hand cycle, and he knows it. So everything, most of his stuff is second-hand, and he knows it. And
Yeah.
I think for him, no, I don't even think it's a thing.
Yeah.
Like, so what?
So
Like
what?
it's
Yeah.
not even something he considers, because most of his stuff is secondhand. All his birthday gifts are secondhand. Most of his clothes used to be secondhand. Now we don't have a kid who's like his size, but growing up, all his clothes were secondhand. All
Yeah.
his books, all his toys, everything is secondhand. So for him, and I made a reel about this, and somebody said, why are you taking away the joy? And I'm like, I am not at all taking away any joy, because for kids, anything they get is new.
New. Yeah. It's
For the
only
child,
us.
that is new.
Yeah. Yeah.
उसको क्या फर्क पड़ता है, उसको तो पहली बार ही मिला है, right? तो उसके लिए तो
Right.
it is new. So I was like, don't worry, I'm not robbing my child of any joy, and my child is very happy. So I am not some very strict person who will say, no, you cannot have it. Because, that's going to push him away from all of this. And
Right.
as long as it's a little bit and his room is not overflowing with stuff. Actually, I made a reel about this saying that sustainable does not mean that everything is made of wood and everything is made of
No?
cloth and everything. He has regular stuff because
Yeah.
he's growing up in this world where everyone around him has regular stuff. He
Right.
should not feel left out, because then he will not want to do this anymore.
Right.
So he has everything, but he has less. He does
Right.
not have too much. And like I said, they learn from what they see, right? You can't keep buying stuff for yourself the whole time and then tell your child that you cannot get stuff the whole
Right.
time.
Right.
So because we don't buy stuff the whole time,
Right.
he has never been to a mall.
He has never been to a mall. Never.
He has been to a mall only to go to a play area. So some play areas
Yeah.
are inside malls, but he
Right.
has never entered a toy shop ever.
Wow.
He's 6 years old.
Wow.
He's never entered. So I'm trying my best to not ever take him into toys. But am I robbing him of anything? No, I'm not. He has a lot of toys. He loves his toys. Right now, he's into books and he has so many books and he has more than enough. I'm not depriving him of anything. But if I'm going to talk about don't overconsume, overconsume, buy less, consume less, I can't be bombarding him with stuff,
Right. This
right?
reminds me of what happened this morning. I was just taking out some stuff. So, as you said, all secondhand clothes, all secondhand toys, everything secondhand. We have not bought anything in the 2 years that my son has been born. And I was taking out some stuff, some clothes, and I put them for washing. And his nanny came and he's like, Bhabhi, what is this? And I told him, new clothes. And she's like, new? एंड आई सेड हाँ वो रिशान के लिए नया है so I just got reminded of that for kids it's new and they are as good as new. Kids don't outgrow stuff. I mean, they only outgrow stuff. They don't, purana nahi
As
hota.
they start growing, yes, they are all the time because they're not growing so quickly. वो कपड़े फट जाते हैं and all of that happens. But till I think 3 or 4,
Yeah.
nothing happens because they're growing so fast. It makes no sense to buy anything new. When he was born, I had 4 friends who had kids a year or 2 years before that. I had like every day he would wear a new onesie because I had
Yes.
so many.
I had spare ones to share with my sister and my other friends also.
Yeah.
And those clothes are still till date. They are being rotated. Like
Yeah.
somebody or the other is wearing those clothes, and they are. And my friend, my sister, she has a baby boy now who's younger than my son, and she says that these are Rishan's clothes, and I'm like, no, no, these are not Rishan's clothes.
Actually, not even his. They have come from so and so's.
Some other place which I don't even know now, where they have come from. So it's like that. And for kids, it really doesn't make a difference. I really love the fact that you said that it's new for the kid because that's how it is. And that's how the pre-loved gift swap also makes such as I mean, I at 37, I am excited about a pre-loved gift swap. I want to do it, and the kids must be excited definitely. And Sonika, you tell me, what do you hope Abhi remembers the most about his childhood when he grows up?
I think all of these experiences are going to be a part of his. I think they're going to be a part of him forever, hopefully, because it's just how he is growing up. And well, I hope he keeps composting throughout his life, and I hope he keeps doing all of these things throughout his life. But it's like growing up you did this, or growing up I did that, or it's just how you grew up. So I think those things just stay with you,
Yeah.
and I hope these things stay with him. And I really hope he can be an advocate for all of these things, that he can inspire people around him, that he can get his friends to start doing, which he has already
Yes.
unknowingly.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
unknowingly doing a lot of these things. And by the way, even if somebody comes home and if I just tell him, "Okay, show him the grubs, or show them grubs," very proudly. He knows that it's very cool, that he's very cool, and not everybody does this. So he'll just go with a swag and he'll open up the composter and start taking out grubs. And. So anyway, I hope that he just continues doing all of this, that he's an advocate, that he can inspire more people and encourage more people around him to um, do all of this. I have to tell you, sorry, I'm just breaking into incidents.
No,
They
no,
went
please
they
do.
went for from school. So their school is like no plastic, no none of this nonsense. It's very, very sustainable.
Yeah.
So they went for a beach. They went to the beach for a picnic.
Yeah.
And she said, his teacher said, we went to the beach and we had to have paper napkins to, to remove the sand from everyone's kids' hands before they ate. And she said, we took out the paper napkins, and this one is like, no, 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 I'm not going to use this. I will use my own napkin. So she said, yeah, it's okay, you don't use it. So he's used his own napkin. And after that, she said, he told us, ये अभी waste कहाँ पे जाएगा आप मुझे दिखाओ. And his teacher is like, we took him to the bin and showed him that it is going inside the bin. And she was like, we had to satisfy him कि, हम ऐसे कचरा नहीं फेंक रहे. We are, we are putting it in the right place.
They are taking their accountability partner along there wherever
Correct.
they go.
So they have two composters. They started composting in school.
Wow.
And so they have these two large composters in school. So whenever, anything, whatever, if there is like, they once made juice. They made juice in school and he told everyone, you give me the peels, we will make bioenzyme with this. So
Wow.
all the peels were sent home and then we made bioenzyme and we sent that entire bioenzyme to school and we were like, use this instead of using your Lysol or whatever you use.
Yeah.
So, he's already kind of doing these things.
Yeah.
And I just hope he'll continue doing all of this.
Beautiful, beautiful. Sonika, this has been such a heartwarming and enlightening conversation. Your journey as a sustainable parent is not just inspiring, but also incredibly practical and relatable for so many listeners. But before we wrap up, I have to ask you if there's one wish you have for Abir's future in this world, what would be it?
Oh, it's a tough one. I just hope that they have a good, comfortable world to live in
Yeah.
and a more kind and more compassionate world because I think we have just completely lost that.
Yeah.
Uh, there's just too much of hatred and there's too much of conflicts and there's just too much of all of this that is happening. So I really hope that we become more kind, more compassionate, and we are uh, just generally a nice atmosphere to grow up in and also not face all these emergencies, climate emergencies that are happening so often. And I really hope that, governments wake up and realize that big changes need to be made so that we don't face. I mean, look at what is happening in LA right now. It is damn scary. My company is headquartered in LA. And just talking to my colleagues, it is just so scary that it can happen to anyone, anywhere.
Yeah.
So I think the reason I keep telling people to think about this is that don't think about the earth or don't think about the environment because, if we are not going to destroy the earth,
Right.
we are just destroying our own chances of survival. We are destroying our kids' future. So if we can all just be a little mindful about it, and I just think we need to be more aware, we need
Yeah.
to be more curious, and we need to question things. People say random things to me sometimes, and then I ask them, what is the logic? Like, have you thought about it? There's actually no logic.
Yeah.
मैंने सुना है.
Huh.
Question it, no? आपने क्या सुना है? Just
Hmm.
because you've heard something, you start doing something.
Right.
Be a little more curious about it. Just find out, read up. There's so much information available. And if you can do small changes in your lifestyle, if you can just start thinking of things differently, and that can have an impact on your kids and on your life,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
Why not? So I just hope that more and more people become more aware, become more curious, and just start making better choices in life. And if we all do that, it can really make a big difference, right? Because everything is being produced for us. If
Right.
there is so much single-use plastics being produced, it's being produced for us. So if we reject it, there will be no use for it. So I think there are a lot of things that we all can do. And just I really hope that a large number of people will start at least thinking about these things.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for saying this, and sharing your story with us. It's been really a remarkable conversation, and thank you for your time and being here.
Thanks a lot. This was a lot of fun, and yeah. Uh, if people want to know what they can do, so I have an Instagram account. It's at Sonika Bhasin, my name. And like I said, I have a highlight which is called I use, which is all the products, sustainable products we use. But I also have highlights for like recycling resources, on how to compost, on how to do zero waste birthdays, on tons and tons of topics. So I made highlights so that it's easier for people to access all of this. So I mean, do take a look at it, and if something is useful, pick it up and start doing it.
Yeah, and to our listeners, if you are as inspired by Sonika as I am, I encourage you to take that first step, no matter how small, towards a more sustainable and intentional way of living. And as she said, you can follow her and learn more about her journey on Instagram. Her handle is at Sonika Bhasin, her name. And finally, thank you so much for tuning into Parenthood Spotlight. If you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who might find it inspiring. Until next time, take care and keep parenting with love and intention.